yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. Humble means to be respectful to God, to have an attitude of respect in the presence of the Lord. And the Lord is everywhere. So this is not only when you go to church, you put on a certain attitude and behave a certain way. The Lord is everywhere. So therefore, you should live a life of humility, a life of humbleness, a life of respect. This is a lifestyle. This is not something that you turn on and turn off whenever you want. You turn on when you go to church and you turn off when you go to work. It is a constant living. So everything we do should represent God. We should be humble to God. I always said this. The way you respect yourself, how you respect yourself is how you respect God. The Bible said that our body is the temple of the Lord. So how are we treating our body? How are we being respectful to our body? How do we carry ourselves? How do we handle conflict? How we talk to people? How do we behave in public? Those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself, because the temple is not only on the outward, it's on the inward. So it's not about, sometimes some people will take a lot of time worrying about what they put on the outside of the temple, while some people will take a lot of time worry about what they will eat, what they will put inside of their temple. But the temple is inside and outside. So therefore, you should respect your body. And when you're respecting your body, you are respecting God. You're honoring the body that God alone you. You are showing humility. You're being humble. You're humbling yourself in the sight of the God, in the sight of the Lord, each and every day. In Titus 2 verse 3, it said that we should be reverent in our behavior. So when I'm saying how do you handle conflict, how do you talk to others, and how do you behave in public, this is not my opinion. This is what the Bible says in Titus 2 and verse 3. It said that we should be reverent in our behavior. We shouldn't be slanderers, and we shouldn't be addicted to much wine. So those are everything that how we should take care of ourselves, how we should humble ourselves, it's all in the Bible. If we read the Bible, we will see the examples of how we should live and how we should come before God, and the reverence that we should have and the respect that we should have for God. These are some of the things that we should take into consideration. And when we are humble before God, and when we respect God, and when we show reverence before God, and when we take care of ourselves, and when we respect ourselves and show respect to ourselves, the Bible said that He will lift us up, that God will lift us up when we show it, when we are humble in His sight. He will give us purpose. If you want to find your purpose in life, be humble. Go before God, humble before God, because a lot of us, including myself, we are walking around and we don't really know what our purpose is in life, and we're trying to pick what our purpose is. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, I am good at this, I am good at that. But if you humble yourself and go before God, humble yourself in the sight of God, will show you your purpose. God will give you purpose. That is what the Bible said. I didn't say it. I did not say it. So I would encourage every single person to look deep within themselves and say, am I arrogant? Am I selfish? Am I greedy? Because all those things, those are not humility. You look deep within yourself and try and figure out how to be humble, how to be respectful to others, how to be respectful to yourself, how to treat others, how to treat yourself. All of those things are humility. God wants us to be humble at home, at church, at work, in the street, in the store, in the super, wherever we go. God wants us to be humble. God wants us to reflect a godly character wherever we go. And if we are not humble, we cannot reflect a godly character. If we're arrogant and selfish, and if we're loud and when I said loud, I mean, our behavior is like aggressive and the words that come from our mouth, if we are not humble, and if we're trying to put people down, and God does not want stuff like that. That is not humbleness. That is not humility. So I would encourage everyone to seek humility. It is for our own benefit when we humble before God, because we want God to lift us up. No one can lift us up better than God. And it is simple. Be humble in his sight, he will lift us up. A lot of the times we want God to do, you know, I don't know if you notice this, but it's a two-way street. It's us, it's human effort, it's with divine power. But a lot of the times we want God to do everything. We want God to fulfill all the promises. For example, lift us up. Lift us up. We want God to lift us up, and we're not humble. We want God to do his part, to keep his promise. But yes, we don't want to do our part to get that promise, so that God can keep his promise. We want God to lift us up, but we don't want to be humble. Yet we want to have faith. We have faith, but we don't want to work. So everything is our part. We have to do our part, and then we allow God to do his part, and not rush God into doing. Not because you complete your task, that doesn't mean God is like, okay, it's time. Give God time. Don't walk around and say, okay, you know what? I am being humble for 5 years now, and I don't see God lifting me up. I am in the same position, the same situation. Why am I doing this? No. Give God a chance to work in your life. Don't rush God. And don't like, okay, I did my part, and God didn't fulfill his part, so I'm going to go back. No. Keep being humble before God. Keep walking in the righteousness of God. Do not turn back. And that is what I have to say for you today, is to be humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, so that he can lift you up, so that he can give you purpose, so that he can fulfill the desires of your heart. And those desires of your heart actually is the desires that he gave you to desire for.